Like that, you needed that kind of one. Maybe what was the challenge for the guys this week?
Well, first of all, it was good to be back home in front of the home crowd. We had 2 tough weeks on the road and an open date, so it was good for us to be back home. Those guys know that wasn't us a couple weeks ago, that last outing, and we had some stuff that, not to say something to prove, but we just wanted to play better. But it wasn't just about today, and the guys had 2 weeks of preparation, and that's what it was all about, that we had to prepare to put us in the right place, to get us in the right situations, and I'm so proud of them. They did that. All the work they did, all the extra work that they did, all the film that these guys, they were ready to go. They went out and executed. We talked about a couple of things before the game. We said, hey, we want to play smart, we want to play fast, we want to play tough. I know we're going to play hard. I mean, that's expected. Those guys expect that of themselves, and they push each other. But I thought we played tough today against a very good team. We know who was putting up some incredible numbers. We got a couple key stops that we needed, and the offense was really incredible.
Defensively, how did you feel like you guys settled in? Because they scored on a few drives early, but then you got that big kickoff return, then you got a stop in the red zone, got a turnover, and it seemed like it started to kind of roll.
Well, I was talking to Kevin Moore coming off the field, and we said, hey, man, they had 24 points, but we dropped 2 interceptions, and I thought one of them we could have walked in the end zone. That first drive, we dropped it. Could have kept them out the end zone. So he said, we're selling it. Hey, man, they really should have like 10 points. So our defense still felt good. We had some guys go down with some cramp issues, and hats off. We had a bunch of guys. We played a bunch of guys in the second half and in the fourth quarter, as they were still throwing it all over the field.
The efficiency of the offense. I don't know if you punted in the first half. I think you scored every time you had the ball, 55 points.
Yeah, just the way they started. We started it up front. Those guys were doing a good job of protection. I thought we were moving the line of scrimmage. We were getting 8 yards of pop on the run. And then Lindsey was just finding his spots and getting into the right receivers, and he made a couple good runs. They were just on. Coach Rob, I thought, called a really, really good game. Sometimes you get in that rhythm, and no matter what you're calling, those guys made it work.
The third phase of the game, special teams, they're able to come through with a kickoff return and then a fumble recovery.
Yeah, Dontaze, that ball got caught up in the wind. Me and him were laughing on the sideline, got caught up in the wind. Then he picked it up, and then he just took it. He had a couple key blocks, and he just outran everybody. And then we got a big turnover that when we kicked it down there, big hit by a freshman, Rebowe, caused a fumble. Again, that takes away another possession from those guys and gets us back out on the field.
That wind was really whipping out there, but it didn't seem to affect you guys too much. It did seem to have a little bit of effect on Incarnate Word when they were going against it. I guess how much do you take pride against for not having it affect too much your offensive game?
No, we again, it was something that we planned on and we talked about all week. We plan on, we go against the wind. We know we're going to have a situation, a quarter, we're going to have to do that. I mean, even snapping the ball, we talked about, and throwing it, and then going the other way. So it's big. Our guys, when we took off that they wanted to defer it, we took the ball and we knew that first half, but our guys did a good job into the wind. Second half, there was no doubt we were kicking, we were taking that win in the third quarter with a big lead.
Last year at Incarnate, where you had to pound it down and it had to come down to a big stop. This year, I mean, it seemed like that in the first quarter, but after that, you just opened up. Just talk about the difference.
Yeah, I thought it was good. John Carrington came in, did a great job of running. We played 4 running backs. Julian Gums was out. I thought those guys did a good job of just creating holes and getting some positive yards. And it was truly a team effort. And those guys know that in that locker room, But anytime you can put up 70, 75 points, man, that's really something special.
Just, if you can, share your thoughts on the job Lindsey's done since he's gotten here.
No, it's good. Lindsey every week is better and better. And what the guys don't see, the hours in the film room, they don't see the hours after practice and throwing and getting all the guys on the same page, and just taking. And that's what those guys don't see. I mean, everybody knew, from Baton Rouge on, and everybody knew the incredible talent that Lindsey was, but he's really stepped into that leadership role and done a tremendous job.
The way you guys are scoring and everything, is it hard work in the offseason? It's timing. How do you explain it?
We do a good job of staying at the practice, meeting outside of football. There was one time where we went and met at the hot tub at the apartments, nearby, and literally just go over plays. So, when we mesh like that and we're all on the same page, it makes it that much easier for me to turn, looking somewhere where I wasn't looking and knowing where guys are going to be. So just that blend together, it's almost like we're one person out there.
55 points and a half. I mean, I know there was a kick return mixed in there, but just can you be any more efficient than that? I mean, he's kind of
there's
perfect.
always room for improvement, but from 55 points scoring every drive, maybe complete the ball every drive, but there's always room for improvement. No, but the guys did a great job. You know, we wanted to make an emphasis on, you know, against a great UIW offense that can score a lot of points, scoring every opportunity we get, and that's exactly what we did.
Coach made an emphasis on the team that played Sam Houston State. That wasn't you guys. Was that the big motivation today?
Yeah, I mean, the motto for this week was bounce back too, and that was kind of paying, you know, homage to bounce back, the first bounce back a couple of years ago. But, you know, that wasn't us. You know, we came out and we just weren't ourselves, and we knew we had to fix it. So we came in, the bye week helped a lot, and this week and just looked at the things that we did wrong and that we did out of character and fixed that and adjust on Saturday today.
So what was the message during the bye week? I mean, you're coming off a score 17 points. You come out this week and score 75.
We did a great job of just kind of getting back to the basics, you know, getting back to the basics, and also, like I said earlier, just blending together, you know. We got a lot of different personalities, a lot of different individuals, and we can get all those guys to kind of get on the same page is something special.
How much did it change y'all's offensive approach, if at all, like depending on which direction y'all were going, just based on the win? Like, did it change it that much?
Yeah, I mean, when we throw the ball, or when I throw the ball, they always tell me before I go out, you know, you got the wind to your back now. So if I throw a deep ball, I had to take that into account, take a little off, and when I'm throwing into the wind, I got to throw a little harder. So, you know, deep balls are the biggest thing, but we connected on a couple today, and I don't think the wind was too much of a factor for us.
Yeah, I mean, first two touchdown passes you had were against the wind, I think, and I mean, it kind of
there was one pass, the one I threw to Dejon early on to the left. I threw a little too high. I was supposed to throw a little low. The wind took it, but you know, that was probably the one time the wind got us.
What about having the fans here today?
It was great. It was great. Again, looking up in the stands, I like it because like they're right there. You know, looking up the stands and seeing all the faces, people smiling, getting interactive with them. You know, third downs, trying to get them loud. It's great. It's a great atmosphere, and I really love it.
You talk about the atmosphere. You know, whenever you're scoring, yeah, you keep it casual, you keep it business casual. But whenever your teammates out there, like Cohen, he gets a chance to play a quarterback. A lot of the running backs rotate. You the first one to congratulate him after that touchdown.
I just like to see my teammates do well. You know, when I score, it is what it is. That's my job. But you know, when they score, I like to celebrate their accomplishments. You know, and I get to sit back and spectate and just be happy for guys that work that bust their butt off day in and day out.
There's a lot of people in the Baton Rouge area who have kept up with your career and all the places you've been and everything, and they're happy for you that you're, really the best is happening last here, I guess. Just what about the support you've gotten from all those people? And
I'll tell you this, man. When you go to 4 schools and you go into each school wanting to play and you don't get what you want, it's really hard. There's been some times where I've questioned football. Maybe computer science is my thing. But there's always that random text with someone that I grew up with in Baton Rouge, or a coach in Baton Rouge, or a Pee Wee coach, and it motivates me. A lot of people take into account my enrollment here at Nicholls. Keeping me going, keeping me up when I'm down. So just that support, it means a lot to me. It really means the world, because there's been times where I've been down in dark places and they show me the light.
You've been in and out of a couple of programs. Let's talk about the feeling of Southland football.
I mean, look, these guys hit a lot harder than I thought they would, to be honest. But Southland football is like any other conference. They're fast. They got big guys. They're physical, and everyone comes to play. I kind of feel like I'm in the Pac-12 with all these points. But it's a competitive league. Anybody can beat anybody, and you got to come and bring your A game every Saturday.
You gonna start telling defensive players to spat up a little bit more? You keep on taking ankles. Was that
yeah,
not a habit?
Yeah, I got to spat up. Hey, I don't know. That must be the sweet spot for me. I like to take the ankles, so we'll see.
Can I ask you early thoughts on playing McNeese next week?
I haven't looked in. I watched McNeese versus UIW, and they're a good team. They got the ability to score with a great quarterback, and a great defense. They got good DB, so we're gonna come into the game plan. The week with a game plan the coach has put in front of us, and we're gonna follow it just like we did this week.
What was it like watching that kick return, where the guy's in jail and then he gets out?
Well, it's so many emotions. The guy, he muffs the ball, and now you think, oh no, and he picks it up. He's like, okay, let's see what he does, and then when Tez gets going, it's just like it's. You said Deshaun Jackson. I was literally thinking the same thing on the sideline. Those knees get high, and he just starts rolling. And if you don't tackle him within the first 10 yards, you're not gonna catch him. So it was great, and swung the momentum in our direction.
My last thought for you, I just heard you mention, are you a computer science major?
I am a computer science major, yes.
Is that from like a personality standpoint? Like, is that something that makes you think about things like in a meticulous way? And does that bleed over to football at all in any
I'm
way?
very analytical.
Yeah.
I was just, you can ask Hillary back there. I was just crunching some numbers, trying to figure out who had the most passing yards on average, because my guy threw the ball 65 times. But it really helps when it comes to football because I like, to get down to every detail, just like you have to do in writing a program or something like that. So it definitely transfers over to my football preparation. Forgot that word.
That feel like good to have that type of performance defensively just after a couple weeks back and kind of flush that last game that you had?
Yes, sir, man. We made big emphasis on bouncing back, so I'm really proud of our defense. We came out there and, hats off to UIW. They gave us a fight, but we stayed in it, we communicated, we did what we needed to do.
A lot of the young guys, there's not sophomores that were freshmen last year. I've been seeing you on the field actually being vocal, talking them up, giving the confidence to people like Jordan Jackson to go get that interception that he missed.
Yes, sir, man. Hey, I'm proud of my young guys. They stepped up when they needed to in all three phases of the game. We had big plays on special teams. We always want to get the ball, give it back to the offense.
Coach, you kind of mentioned there were a couple of turnovers that you didn't make a little bit early on and in the first quarter, and then after the first quarter, things started to kind of roll. You got that turnover, then it started to kind of snowball. Was that kind of the message after the first quarter? Is we feel like we're playing better than maybe the scoreboard represents, if you will?
Yes, sir. But, we never want to hop on the turnovers. We know that we need to make them, and that is a standard. But, hey, it happens, football, so we drop one, it's about the next one.
Dontaze, they're doubling Dejan, which is leaving you open. Just whenever you get open and Lindsey throws it to you, you get a chance to score. Just talk about the excitement of being able to, be relied upon in the offense.
Last year I was out for a while and wasn't able to play. Then got the opportunity, and I'm really happy I'm able to make big plays.
Can you tell me just what you saw on that kick return for a touchdown? I mean, I'm sure that felt pretty good.
Yeah, I want to say thanks to the guys up front because without them, we would never been able to be able to returnable ball.
And they were kicking against the wind. Y'all were running with the wind. I mean, did that kind of have an effect where you felt like you guys could, kind of bust one loose with the way the wind was blowing? Did that have a factor at all on that return?
Yeah, like I said before, it was all thanks to the guys up front with the blocking because I kind of muffed the kickoff return, and without them, I wouldn't have been able to return it.
There are a lot of people here today having fun and cheering you guys on. It looked like it was a fun stadium to play in today.
Yeah, it really was. I had a bunch of fun with it. Without the fans, it was, they helped us change the momentum of the game.
Yeah, this was a spring game, but it felt like a summer game with the heat starting to come out there. Just talk about the hydration that y'all had to go through coming out of halftime.
Well, right before the game, they told us to get a lot of hydration, drink a lot of water, where we wouldn't have a lot of cramps and stuff like that.